Remember what I told you was the first golden rule. You are all that you have thought and done. In order to change something, you must first know what that something is. In the case of you, only you can really know what goes on inside you. Only the self can know the self. You must look very hard and honestly at your life and actions. Do not lie to yourself or try to justify that which you knew to be wrong. Examine all of the right behaviors and the wrong behaviors. This is the first step in the right mindfulness to know all your actions. The first step is to identify and isolate all the wrong things and then determine what caused them. What made you think that? What made you do that? What made you say that? Here's an example. You went to a party last night and became very drunk. You seemed to change, becoming almost another person. You were angry, argumentative, and even fought with and hurt someone. But now it's morning. Let's look back on the day before and all your actions. You identify first all the actions which you did. For brevity, I will only mention a few. Number 1, you helped someone move some furniture and did not accept payment. 2, you fought with and injured someone at the party. 3, you yelled at a person and said things that hurt them emotionally. Now, take what you have learned and weight your actions in the balances. Did you have a good karmic day? No, you did but one right action. You did one wrong action and one wrong speech. You incurred a karmic debt. This is the process of achieving right mindfulness. Review, identify, weight. I need to express in as strong a way as I can the importance of this first step. The first step in eliminating evil from your life is to identify it. The simple act of admitting it to yourself, that thing I did was wrong, is one of your most powerful tools. It is necessary to know what it is before you can change it, and this is your tool for doing so. But more subtle and more important is this. As you begin to consciously acknowledge your actions, you begin to train what we call the subconscious. Your mind begins to identify wrong actions for you. The little voice starts to get louder and talk to you more often. It will gain enough strength to warn you as you do it, and eventually before you do wrong things. Now that you know what it is that you did, it is time to take the next step. What is it that made you do it in the first place? Remember, be honest in this. You only lie to yourself if you don't. No matter what it is you have done, and there is nothing you can do that many before you have not already done. God allows you to change. God allows you the chance to change and right the wrong. It is also just as important to identify your good actions and their causes as it is the wrong ones. Let's look at the day again. You helped a friend. What was the cause of this action? There are a couple of things involved with this. First, you did it out of friendship. Friendship is a positive or right thought. Second, you experienced pleasure in making someone else's burden lighter. Third, you did not take any reward, but did a right thing, and that in itself was reward enough. These, then, are the right thoughts and actions found in this deed. Now, let's look at the other two. You got drunk and hurt someone. Part of this one is obvious. Drinking can affect your behavior. This also applies to other intoxicants or drugs. Anger also played a part in this one. Anger is a negative emotion. Notice that I did not say wrong. There is a difference between wrong and negative emotions. Anger usually leads to destruction of one form or another, and destruction is negative. Therefore, creation is positive. If you are angry at something, that means you know that means you know intentional harm. That If you are angry at something, that means you know intentional harm. Then this is wrong. What happens when your anger is directed at another destructive action, though? You are all allowed to get mad at injustice, cruelty, and things of this nature. Still, the emotion you feel is one of destruction. It is negative in its effect. You must use extreme caution when dealing with these negative emotions, even when they are intended for use in a positive outcome. This type of anger is sometimes referred to as righteous anger, and although it can have its place, it has been the justification of much tragedy in this world. Religious fundamentalism is but one example. We will be discussing this more in future way messages. So, the above steps are part of the right mindfulness. The next step is to use the right knowledge gained from right mindfulness and apply it to right effort. Simply put, learn what causes you to do bad things and then make an effort to either eliminate the causes from your life or change your responses to them. It is easy to say that, even easy to see the logic in it. It is not easy to do. The Buddha said that many of the wrongs in one's life are caused by selfish or destructive desires, drinking to destruction, obsession with owning or possessing things to misery, and so on. These scenarios are certainly valid. Some of these behaviors have either a dual nature or are only wrong if taken to extremes. However, the answer is not to eliminate all desires and wants, for that would extinguish the very fires that drive us in our search for God and truth. The key is to pick a middle path between total apathy and total fanaticism. It is called balance, and it is one of the keys to making everything else in your life work. A person's soul is like their body. In order for it to function properly, there needs to be a balance of certain basic systems. Your heart should beat in relation to your oxygen intake. Your oxygen intake should meet the requirements of a particular effort. Chemicals are balanced in our bodies so that processes go smoothly. Too much stomach acid and we get heartburn. Not enough insulin and our metabolism goes wrong. All these things exist in balance with one another, so too should your life be. Right efforts seek to not only steer your life toward good, but also to create balance in it. Let's take an example. Desires make up a good portion of the emotions you feel. People with too little desire are said to be apathetic or lazy. People who have too much desire are said to be zealots or perhaps greedy. Somewhere in between these two extremes lies the middle point of desire.